Hi, my name is Chloe Tillman, and my speech is over the history and evolution of tattoos. How many of you have a tattoo or know someone with a tattoo? If you said yes, this is completely normal. Around 36% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 years old have at least one tattoo. This is roughly 50 million people. People have always believed that the Egyptians were the first to start tattooing. This was until 1991 when the first discovery of Otzi the Iceman was made. He was a 5,300-year-old mummy who was covered in ink. They found him between the Italian-Austrian border. He was dated back to be alive during 5000 BCE. Many people have tattoos for all sorts of reasons, but Otzi had tattoos on his knees and across his back. These were signs of having pain-relieving method with tattoos. He is the first example of therapeutic tattoo. European women were usually the only people in their culture to have tattoos. They used them to mark their prostitutes and also to mark the people with sexually transmitted diseases. Pregnant women would also have tattoos. They would have them along their stomach region and also along their thighs. This was said to help with their painful pregnancies and also the pain of childbirth. Girls as young as 5 and 6 years old would start getting tattoos by the elder women in their culture. The tools that they used were these. These are from the Smithsonian magazine, and they would use these sharp edges with wooden handles. They would use soot and rub it in on their pricked skin to create that coloration. Other cultures, such as the Inuit, used brighter colors like yellows. Tattoos are used as a sign of nobility and braveness. They were also used as high status signs, or they would use them to mark their criminals, and as religious practices. During the Han Dynasty, criminals were the only people that had tattoos. During the 3rd century, Japanese men would cover their bodies in tattoos. During the British expedition to Tahiti in 1769, the islanders termed tatau, which is meaning hit or to strike, is where we get our modern term tattoo. Europeans then started using tattoos on their men, such as their sailors. In India, they used henna, which is not necessarily a tattoo, but they do use it as a design ink. They would use it to cover their feet and their hands as a coolant for the people who lived in the desert. Nowadays, they use henna as decorative ink for celebrations such as weddings and birthdays. In 1870 was the first American open tattoo parlor. It opened in New York City. They were giving soldiers tattoos during the war. They would give it to either side of the participants of the war. Later on, in 1961, tattoos would be banned in New York City until 1997. Many people in America thought that tattoos were disgusting, but others valued and appreciated what was behind the art. 19th century tattoo styles were found in naval logs and letters. This is what helped soldiers be combined. Now, the people in the Navy have similar tattoos, and this is their bond. People now use tattoos as a way to express themselves. You don't have to have a reason to have tattoos nowadays. You get tattoos if you're bored or just out of fun. The tools we now use are called liners and shaders, which are needle guns that they use to dip into ink and then tattoo across your skin. They change out the needles to make it cleanly, and unlike these, because they could not change these out. Over the years, the tattoos have developed so many ways, and the tools and the styles are continuing to develop. that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening to my speech over the history and evolution of tattoos.